Hello students, video lecture 102. In this video lecture we will discuss history chapter 3, that is making of global world. This chapter has come in the last phase because earlier during last academic year 2020-21 this chapter was deleted due to COVID problem. Syllabus was reduced, so this chapter was the part of reduction, but now it is included. So I'm taking lectures based on making of global world, that is chapter 3 of the history. In this chapter we will basically discuss the ancient global process, and this we will go around 5000 years back. That it is linking of markets, globalization meaning in economic chapter we discussed that rapid transformation of markets or rapid interlinking of market is called globalization. But this global process the traders thought of around 3000 BCE, before Christian era, and today if we count from today, so it becomes almost 5000 of years. So what were the trades and how those trades move from one place to another, and what was the historical impact or economic impact, political impact, and all these things we will discuss in this chapter. So from ancient times, traders, travelers, priests, pilgrims, and many more traveled long distances for acquiring knowledge, better opportunity for survival, and spiritual fulfillment, that is spreading religious messages or religions and so on. Or sometimes the people escaped persecution that because those days the rule was of the kings and of a different type of monarchies ruled by one person. So whenever such situation arises, so persecution means insult, punishment against the spiritual hires or traders. If they do not trade according to the king, so they escape, they moved from those areas and they traveled all those long distances. So according to this, the first thing was, that is is discussed in history, is the Silk routes or the Silk roads. Generally it is called the Silk routes. Silk routes, even today they are discussed, so are a good example of thrilling pre-modern world trade and cultural links between distant part of the world, meaning the Silk routes linked different parts of the world. Silk routes points to the importance of westbound, that is going towards west. Westbound means moving towards west. Chinese silk goods along this route. Since silk was the main trade taken by the traders via these routes, so they got this name Silk routes. Not only silk, many other things also traveled, that we'll discuss in the coming up articles. So the first thing is that these routes got their name as Silk routes because silk from China to the west, Europe, and later on to America, after the discovery of America, these silk cargoes were taken. Second thing about Silk route is that historians have traveled and identified many silk routes crisscrossing the oceans, land, through Asia and Europe. from Asia to Europe and North America when sea route was discovered to America later on. Third thing, these routes are known to have existed before the Christian era and moved almost till 15th century. Till 15th century, these routes were believed to be in use as usually. 15 means till 1499 AD, 15th century AD. So see how many years it started. That is we have a record of silk routes and their use around 1500 years. Another thing about silk route was, other than silk, Chinese pottery, textile and spices from India and South Asia also traveled via same routes from India, China and other parts of Asia to Europe. And in return to all this trade, what did we get? European gold, silver, precious stones, all these valuable metals flowed from Europe to Asia. In simple terms, we can say our spices, our cotton, Chinese silk were exchanged with European gold and silver. So that was the value of our spices and cotton. And last thing about silk route, the fifth point I'm mentioning, trade and cultural exchange always went hand in hand. Trade and culture means culture was also exchanged along with trade. Much before all this, Buddhism, which emerged from eastern India and spread in several directions through silk routes. Buddhism emerged in eastern India and Buddhism also traveled to Europe and other areas via the same routes, that is the silk route. This way silk routes link the world. So these 5 examples I have mentioned, that how did, and question related to this is, how did silk routes link the world, and is very important question. Next article of this is, that is food travels. Now when travelers traveled, people traveled from one place to another place. So while going and coming back, they carried different types of foods. So what were those foods? Food also offered many examples of long distance cultural exchanges. Traders and travelers introduced new crops to the land they went. Even today, the ready food stuff in distant part of the world might share common origins. Take spaghetti and noodles. Today you know it, noodles, chow mein, all these are the new names, but the ancient names are spaghetti and noodles. It is believed that noodles traveled from China to Europe and were called spaghetti. Arab traders took pasta, same pasta whatever you are eating nowadays, to 5th century Sicily in Italy. Similar foods were known in India and Japan, but their origin may never be known. These foods existed in India, pasta, noodles, but their origin nobody thought of to recording. Origin is not known because they were not recorded. Many of our common foods such as potato, soya, groundnut, maize, tomato, chili, sweet potato and many more. These foods were not known to our forefathers till 5th century. Up to 5th century these foods were not known. These foods were introduced in Europe and Asia after Christopher Columbus accidentally discovered the vast continent that would later become known as the Americans in 15th century. In 15th century, after its discovery, so these foods were introduced to Europe and India. So examples you must know, that is wheat, potato, tomato, soya, groundnut, maize, chili, etc. Sometimes the new crops could make a difference between life and death. Europe's poor began to eat better and live longer with the introduction of potato. And once in Ireland, when potato crops failed and destroyed almost all the crops in 1840s, many hundreds of thousands died of starvation. So this is also that food made a difference. Next article is conquest, disease and trade. This is the story about colonization of America. Generally, it is believed that America may not be colonized by any of the colonial power, but that is not true. Truth is, America was colonized. So, in this article, we'll discuss the colonization process of America. The pre-modern world shrank greatly in 16th century after Europeans sailor found a sea route to Asia and America, that is the Christopher Columbus. Indian continent was central to the trade between continents. Indian continent was the central position geographically located between these continents. The entry of European into this trade helped expand or redirect some of these flows towards Europe. Before America's discovery, it had been cut off from regular contacts with the rest of the world for millions of years. But from 16th century onwards, its vast land, large crop area and rich mineral resources began to transform trade and lives everywhere. These things made people to travel. Precious metals, particularly silver, from mines in Peru and Mexico, moved from America to Europe and Asia as trade exchanges. Much news about fabled wealth of the South America spread, and many more journeys were set in search of El Dorado, the fabled city of gold. It was in the news spread that there is a city which is made up of gold, and that was El Dorado. So Portuguese and Spanish traders traveled to America and carried the germs of smallpox. Smallpox is an important case for colonization of America. Because of long isolation of Americans, it spread like forest fire, and in the mid 16th century, it proved a deadly killer and killed millions of Americans in the administration field, and in other areas the Americans failed to manage. And in such a situation, America's administration was taken over by the Portuguese and the Spanish traders. And so America was colonized. In this context, writers mentioned or commented guns could be bought or captured and turned against the invaders, enemy, but not diseases such as smallpox, to which the conquerors were mostly immune. That is, Portuguese and Spanish, their immunity was strong, so they were not much affected by this disease, but hence Americans were isolated from rest of the world, so their immune system was weak against smallpox, and it decimated, killed, disabled, and the American administration collapsed and these traders took over America as their colony, and it was later on joined by Britain. So this is all about in this video lecture. So keep on watching, and of course some important questions will also come afterwards. So keep on reading also. Thanks a lot.